Imagine holding in your hand what looks like the most ordinary coin in the world. A simple 1 cent piece, copper-plated, worn around the edges, tossed, and turned through time like billions of others. Now imagine learning that this coin, this unassuming little Lincoln cent minted in 2010 with a tiny D beneath the date, could be worth a fortune. That's right, what might seem like loose change today could, under the right conditions, be valued between $13,000 and $72,000. This isn't fiction. This is the astonishing story of the 2010 U.S. Lincoln 1 cent coin. And today, on Xcoins Hub, we're going deep into what makes this particular penny such an electrifying discovery in the world of numismatics. The journey of the 2010 Lincoln cent begins not with drama, but with transition. By 2010, the Lincoln cent had just gone through one of its most significant design changes in over a century. The familiar Lincoln Memorial reverse, which had adorned the penny since 1959, was officially retired the year before. In its place, the U.S. Mint unveiled a brand new reverse design for 2010, the Union Shield. It was bold, symbolic, and historical, a throwback to the preservation of the Union during Lincoln's time. 13 vertical stripes, bound by a horizontal bar, with a scroll bearing the word 1 cent draped across. This wasn't just a design. It was a tribute to unity, strength, and American resilience. The Denver Mint, which had long been a reliable workhorse of U.S. coin production, struck hundreds of millions of these new Union Shield cents in 2010. And on the surface, nothing seemed out of the ordinary. Coins rolled out with regularity. Machines stamped away. Bags were sealed, shipped, circulated. But as always in the world of minting, perfection is elusive. Dies were down, blanks misfeed, a slight misalignment, a weak strike, or an unnoticed anomaly can transform a mass-produced coin into a treasure. And that's exactly what happened with some of the 2010 Lincoln cents. A small number of these coins emerged with errors, some subtle, others striking. There were off-center strikes, where Lincoln's profile appears shifted to one side, giving the coin a jarring, eye-catching effect. There were double dies, where the lettering or date shows a ghost-like duplication under magnification. There were coins struck on improperly prepared planchets, leading to unusual textures or discoloration. Each of these minting quirks adds uniqueness, and with uniqueness comes value. But even among these anomalies, it's not just about errors. Condition matters immensely. Imagine a 2010 Lincoln cent, struck perfectly and then somehow preserved in flawless condition, untouched by circulation, its fields gleaming with the bright, original luster of freshly minted copper. These are the coins that grading services like PCGS and NGC dream about. The few that earn MS67 or even MS68 grades. Mint state scores so rare, they command respect and serious attention. Because in a sea of billions, to find a coin that not only has rarity through error, but also condition through preservation is like discovering a rose blooming in a desert. The emotional charge of that discovery can't be overstated. For collectors, this isn't just about money. It's about history, precision, the thrill of the hunt. It's about being part of a community that understands the difference a hairline scratch can make, that can identify doubling in a letter with nothing but a magnifying glass and trained eyes. It's about opening a roll of pennies and feeling your heart skip a beat when you spot something unusual. That feeling, that adrenaline, is what fuels the passion of the numismatic world. And then come the auctions. The drama, the competition, the electricity in the air when a rare 2010 Lincoln cent is unveiled for bidding. It's not a silver dollar, not a gold eagle, but a humble cent that begins to rise in price. 5,000, 10, 17, eyes widen, bidders dig deep. A final offer, 35,000, and it's still not enough. When the dust settles, the hammer falls, and the crowd gasps, the price tag is something few would ever expect. And suddenly, this tiny coin, dismissed by most as pocket change, becomes headline news among collectors. It's a powerful reminder of how easily we overlook value in our everyday lives. How many of us have handed over a rare penny without ever knowing it? How many of these 2010 Lincoln cents have disappeared forever into vending machines, parking meters, and convenience store counters, their secrets never discovered? And how many still remain, waiting for someone curious enough, patient enough, lucky enough to find them? This story is more than a coin's journey. It's a challenge, a call to pay attention, to treat every piece of change not as worthless, but as potentially priceless. The 2010 Lincoln cent has become one of the quiet legends of modern coinage, not because it shouts for attention, but because it whispers through details, through subtle errors, immaculate condition, and rich historical context. And the best part? It might still be out there, hiding in your coin jar, sitting at the bottom of your car's cup holder, or resting in the back of a drawer you haven't opened in years. So, whether you're a seasoned collector or someone just beginning to notice the magic behind the metal, keep your eyes open. Because the next time you hold a penny in your hand, especially one with the date 2010 and a little D beneath it, you just might be holding a treasure. And that treasure, depending on its story, could be worth as much as $72,000. What if the most valuable item you own isn't locked in a safe or hanging on your wall, but hiding quietly in your pocket change? What if a single penny, something so small, so ordinary, so often dismissed as worthless, was actually a hidden fortune? On this episode of X-Coins Hub, we're turning your attention to a coin that millions of Americans have touched, tossed, and forgotten. A copper-plated zinc penny from 2017, minted in Denver, bearing the small but powerful D beneath its date. This is the 2017 D U.S. Lincoln 1-cent coin. And while most are worth exactly what they say, just 1 cent, a select few have shocked collectors and stunned auction rooms by selling for as much as $53,000. It seems unbelievable, doesn't it? That a coin less than a decade old, still found in circulation, could command such jaw-dropping figures. But that's the magic of numismatics. The everyday becomes extraordinary through a perfect storm of rarity, error, and pristine condition. To understand how something so seemingly average became so highly prized, we have to start with the history behind a Lincoln cent itself. Introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, it was the first regular-issue U.S. coin to feature a real person's portrait. Over the decades, it evolved, first with the wheat ears reverse, then the Lincoln Memorial in 1959, and in 2010, the bold new Union Shield that still graces the reverse of the coin today. By 2017, the Union Shield cent had become familiar. The Denver Mint, one of the primary producers of U.S. coinage, struck over 4 billion Lincoln cents that year. That's billion with a B. So how, among so many, could one 2017 D penny rise above the rest? That's where things get interesting. Because in the world of coin collecting, not all pennies are created equal. Sometimes the smallest flaw, a doubling of a letter, a misaligned die, a missing design element, can elevate a coin from common to coveted. In 2017, several varieties of the Lincoln cent emerged with notable errors and anomalies. Among them were double die obverse, where Lincoln's profile, the date, or inscriptions like Liberty and In God We Trust appeared ghosted or slightly shifted due to a misalignment during the striking process. Others had die cracks or cuds, raised blob-like imperfections caused by breaks in the dies that stamped the coin. And then there were those struck off-center, where the design skews toward the edge, creating an eye-catching asymmetry that collectors can't resist. Each error tells a story of what went wrong in the minting process, and what went right for collectors lucky enough to find one. But beyond errors, condition is king. Coins that leave the mint in near-perfect shape and avoid the scratches, dings, and grime of circulation are incredibly rare. The grading scale for coins, which runs from 1 to 70, becomes a battleground for value. A 2017 D Lincoln cent graded MS67 or MS68 red, a designation that means it retains full red color and near-flawless surfaces, is a unicorn among modern pennies. And it's precisely these coins, sometimes with no visible error at all, that have commanded sky-high prices at auctions. Because perfection, when multiplied by scarcity, becomes priceless. Picture the scene at a coin auction. The room quiets as the 2017 D Lincoln cent takes its place on the screen. A coin that looks like any other until you know what to look for. The bidding starts slowly. Then someone online recognizes the grade. Another bidder nods knowingly. This coin is no joke. The numbers climb. 7,000, 12, 19, and then a dramatic pause. The room holds its breath as one final bid shatters expectations. The hammer falls. $53,000. For a penny. Stories like this ripple through the collecting world, inspiring new enthusiasts and rekindling old passions. Because this isn't just about money. It's about the thrill of the search, the joy of discovery, and the wonder of history hiding in plain sight. Coin collecting isn't just a hobby, it's an adventure, and every penny is a clue. Somewhere out there, another flawless 2017 D cent waits to be found. It could be in a roll from your bank, in a cash register drawer, or tucked away in your child's piggy bank. The possibilities are endless, and the potential reward is real that next time you find a penny. Don't just shrug it off. Hold it up to the light. Check the date. Look for that tiny D mint mark. Examine the details, the texture, the shine. Because the next 1 cent coin you find might not just be spare change. It might be a numismatic treasure worth tens of thousands. The 2017 D Lincoln cent proves that even in the most modern corners of our currency, hidden gems still exist, and they're waiting to be discovered by someone curious enough to look at a TX Coins Hub. We bring these stories to light not just to celebrate the rarest finds, but to remind you that in the world of coins, every small detail matters. Keep hunting, keep learning, and keep believing that the next great coin discovery might be right in the palm of your hand.